raised the case to Duduza police station, and you attached a document there marked NPM 1, and then it was an inquest. You recall that? You testified to that. At your page 6, paragraph 20.
Okay.
Now, overleaf at page 7, at paragraph 23, you then introduce the post-mortem report, which you have marked NPM 1, Roman 1. We looked at that post-mortem report yesterday, and it's dated the 9th of May, 2022. It is only later at paragraph 25 where you succeed in converting the inquest inquiry into a murder charge registered at Brakpan.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Based on the answer that you just gave, why is it then you did not start with your investigations either when you became aware of the inquest itself, registered inquest, alternatively as at the 9th of May 2022, or shortly thereafter, after you received the post-mortem report? On the statement, you make it sound like you could only begin after the conversion to a murder case. Perhaps we misunderstood you, and you might want to correct us. Thank you.
Okay. The reason I couldn't take over the investigation immediately to say it's Ipid's investigation, I had to prove the involvement of the police officers. I have to be sure that indeed the police officers were there. Let's say if I had personally interviewed the witness and confirmed to me to say there were police officers here, I was going to immediately take over the investigation of that matter. But because I haven't found this witness, then I must check the death as to how did he die then. Because if he died of unnatural cause, still the police must answer to that. So after the conversion of the charge from inquest to murder, then that is when I fully took over the investigation. I'm not sure if I'm responding correctly to you.
Well, the commissioners are nodding, most importantly.
I'm not sure, commissioners, if it's cleared. I'm trying to clear it. I'm not sure if it makes sense.
Ms. Sillo, just for our records, I think from second sentence of paragraph 2 of 20, it's a lot clearer there, because she says, I could not transfer the case docket to Ipid because I was still conducting the preliminary investigation to ascertain if there were indeed involvement of police officers. An inquest docket traditionally contains a statement.
And that's what she testified to yesterday. So the commissioners are clarified. Thank you, Ms. Masuku.
Thanks, commissioners.
Then we try and find our place again. We are now at page 12. We were dealing with Mr. Van der Merwe's statement, which is your NPM 3, which was commissioned on the 30th of September 2022. You recall that's where we were at?
Yes.
You had said that you wanted to highlight some aspects from that statement at this moment, although you'll return to it. Had you completed that exercise? I think you were interrupted by the chair's question, which now we have answered. You can pick it up from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, commissioners. I will reread this paragraph. On the 22nd of November 2022, the crime scene was reconstructed. Mr. Marius van der Merwe was guiding and pointing out the crime scene to the investigator. Crime scene reconstruction photos were taken by a photographer from Springs Local Criminal Records Center, who compiled an album regarding that. This album is part of the case docket. It was important for me to reconstruct the crime scene because we have primary scene and the secondary scene of the deceased. So for somebody, like in terms of prosecution, they will be having question as to where is this and where is that. So I wanted to put a picture to them to say, you see, this is the house. From the house, they drove so many kilometers to the dam. From the dam, they drove so many kilometers to their third area where they had the debriefing after the commission of the crime. Even for myself, it was going to make sense because I wouldn't be able to say, based on what Marius is alleging to have happened on the day, then it was enough that now we can effect arrest. Yes, after we had now done the reconstruction of the crime scene, then I realized that at least now I can understand Maria's statement. He explains exactly what happened to the scene, and I have the primary photos of the crime scene that was attended by SAPS. Then I'm comparing these photos to Maria's statement, then now it makes sense to me. It will also make sense to the prosecutor for them to make a decision. But still, at that point, I didn't continue with the arrest of the members that were mentioned by Marius, because Marius was the witness that was incriminating himself as well. So I must have other proof to pin these people to the commission of this crime. I had to trace the mentioned suspects in order to obtain their warning statements, which is the warning statement, which is a document used by the investigator when questioning the suspect to ensure that their constitutional rights are protected. It advises the suspect of the charges, their rights to remain silent, their rights to legal representatives. The purpose is to formally record suspects' version of events while understanding that they are not obligated to incriminate themselves. It prevents any unlawful interrogation. After the statement was obtained from Marius, the scene is reconstructed now. Marius mentioned a number of people that he knew. I must trace these people and get their statements. The problem now that I'm having, I'm working for Ipid. We investigate police officers. But Marius is mentioning private people now on the commission of this crime. And now I cannot separate and say for SAPS members, because they were on duty, I must get warning statements. For private people, I must arrest them straight. I cannot do that. I must all interview them to obtain their warning statements, to get the version of their side of what transpired on the day, together with the traffic officers as well as SAPS members, so that I can be able to take the docket for the decision. But I sat with my team to discuss this matter after we had reconstructed, going through Maria's statements and the witness statement, even though the witness couldn't be traced as to where he was during that period, but I had hoped that I will be able to find him later. Then,
rather, the reference to the witness you've just mentioned, is that the tenant?
A tenant.
All right.
Yes, Commissioner, a tenant. His statement, that's our, even though he didn't witness the commission of a crime, but that's the sole witness whereby we say he saw the police officers on the day, he saw the owner of the house on the day. After that, the police officers left, the owner was nowhere to be found. So it's now up to the police to answer, to say, where did he went to? Then I said to the team, let's rather arrest Fritz. You remember that Alexandra Fritz visited mother after the funeral. Fritz's car was pinned by the AVL to the scene. Marius is mentioning him in his statement. At least for Fritz, I've got evidence tangible against him. Then I said, let's rather arrest Fritz. We can arrest the rest of them as they are mentioned by Marius. But if maybe the NPA doubt in placing the docket on the court roll, but we will fight to place Fritz, at least. We were happy. Then, together with my team, we went to Nigel Court. Because when it was registered as inquest, it started at Duduza and then it falls under Nigel Court. We went there to discuss with the senior public prosecutor, but our discussion there was just to say we're intending to effect an arrest. Can you go through this to check if we have enough? Then he disagreed and said, no, you cannot, it's too early. We didn't agree with him. We left, we were not happy. He referred us to the chief prosecutor. I spoke telephonically to the chief prosecutor and explained the details of the matter. He also agreed with the SPP to say, no, it's too early. Don't do that. Then I went back to the office and said, okay, it's better, let me refer this case docket to the NPA so that they can give me guidance on the steps now to be taken so that I can be able to have my investigation done so that I can be able to later effect an arrest.
Have you now skipped, or are you done with paragraph 47 of your statement?
I'm there, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm there, Commissioner.
okay.
I will read it. After the statement was obtained from Marius and reconstruction of the scene done, I then, together with the team members, approached senior public prosecutor from Nigel Court with intention to discuss possible arrest. The SPP didn't agree with us as he referred us to the chief prosecutor. We contacted the chief prosecutor telephonically and he did not agree with the team as well. Thereafter, I drafted the recommendation report to the North Gauteng Division of National Prosecuting Authority, which is NPA, Director of Public Prosecution, for further directives. The case docket was referred to the DPP on the 7th of December 2022. I attached annexure NPM4, a copy of this referral.
At that juncture, please open your annexure file. That,
Ms. Silo, especially paragraph 4 and 5, I think it should be read into the record.
that is fine. I just wanted the witness to locate the document. Your NPM4 is at page 11 of your annexure file. And then you can take questions from Commissioner Khumalo or advice. Please. Thank you, Commissioner.
Are you there, Ms. Masuku?
I'm there, Commissioner.
Yes. That's the memorandum you're referring to on page 11?
On the 7th, yes, Commissioner.
It's dated the 6th. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't matter. And then on page 13, please read paragraph 4 and 5 into the record.
Commissioner, can I get some clarity? I heard the Commissioner saying this memorandum is dated the 6th.
Yes, I'm looking at page 13, bottom of the page, next to your signature and Ms. Nchanga's signature. It says 6 December 2022.
And perhaps to assist, here is where the 7th comes from, first page, as the receipt stamped by the NPA,
Yes.
dated the 7th of December 2022, yes.
Okay, Commissioner, I compiled it on the 6th.
Yes.
And then it was signed off in my office on the 6th. But I delivered the docket on the 7th at NPA. Hence, on the memorandum, it's dated the 6th, but the date in the front page is the 7th.
Yes.
That's the reason it's got two different dates.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Masuku, and the reason why I need you to read paragraph 4 and 5 into the record is because you will remember the allegation made against Ipid is that they frustrated the investigation into the matter and they never took steps to take the matter forward. So I think this memorandum is important because it partly, not fully, partly answers the allegation.
Okay, Commissioner. The Commissioner said I must read
Only 4 and 5 on page 13.
on page 13 of my statement.
Yes. No,
No,
not
of
the
the annexure
statement.
bundle.
The document where we were, the memorandum.
Oh, of the
Your
memorandum.
your memorandum to the DPP.
Oh, page 13 of my memorandum.
Yes.
Okay.
The heading in para 4 says Ipid request from there.
Okay.
Yes.
Based on the, yes, it's point number 4, Ipid request. Based on the information contained in the case docket above, it is the request of the Ipid that the NPA should, in terms of section 1792 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, make a decision whether or not to institute criminal proceedings against the above-mentioned suspects, and to carry out any necessary functions incidental to instituting criminal proceedings. Paragraph 5, conclusion. In terms of Section 7.5 of the Ipid Act, the Ipid awaits your decision in accordance with your constitutional mandate as per Section 1792 of Constitution referred to above, to enable the institution Ipid to comply with its obligation as provided for Section 7.5 of Ipid Act.
And just for the record, in paragraph 2.2 on page 12, your memorandum, maybe you should read it for yourself. Let me not read it for you. Page 12, paragraph 2.2.
Paragraph 2.2 states the investigation is complete and all necessary statements, technical reports, and expert reports are attached in the dockets for your attention in accordance with your Regulation 5.3I of the Ipid regulation issued on the 10th of February 2012 under government notice number 3518.
Yes, thank you. I don't know if my co-commissioners have a question on this document. You were dealing with the NPA's response to your memorandum.
It's before she gets to the actual response, this annexure. As Commissioner Kumalo requested you to read the item 4 Ipid request, you say that page 13, based on the information contained in the docket above. You see that line?
Yes, I do, Commissioner.
And if we go back to page 12, you have a table there headed case docket content. So these are the documents, if I understand, that you included in the docket handed to the DPP. Is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioners.
It's 23 documents from what I can see. Do you want to highlight some of the documents that were in the docket at the time?
Yes, Commissioners, what I can highlight here, when the case docket was submitted to the DPP in Pretoria, it contained the postmortem, which described how he died and the injuries sustained. It had the AVL, which is the document I was talking about, of Alexandra Fritz, the vehicle that belonged to SAPS he was driving on the day. It had already Marius van der Merwe's statement. It had the witness statement, which was the tenant. It had as well the registers of SAPS register, official registers, whereby it proves that Fritz on the day he was on duty, which car did he use? I have the document called SAP 132B, which is the a logbook of SAP's car. And then I had a document of SAP 15 of the driver of the BMW, which was Alexandra. I also had SAP 15 of other members who were working on the day, which is a list of other members that were working at Brakpan on the day. And the reason I had to have that, it's because of Marius was saying there were police officers from Brakpan, but they were not identified. And it was not easy to identify them on the list because it's just names. You don't know that in between them who was there. Then when I referred to this docket, I had already communicated with the SPP and the chief prosecutor. These are my documents. I was saying I'm having enough that I can effect arrest on my own. Hence, when I'm referring it to the DPP, I am saying still to them to say I have enough. But I know that because they are disagreeing with me, they must give me further directives from what I'm having.
Thank you for that. So then this is submitted to the DPP on the 7th of December 2022.
That's correct, Commissioners.
And then you can take it from there. Thank you.
Ms. Masuku, before you do that, at page 11, which is the first page to your memorandum, and maybe for completeness, you should place on record the classification. You have there the Ipid classification, and then you also have the alleged offense that you were seeking these people to be charged with. And then if you do not have any difficulty about compromising your case, you could also place on record the list of suspects that you have on that page. If that is a problem, I'm happy for you not to list the suspects.
Commissioner,
you have Ipid classification?
Yes. Ipid classification, it's section 28(1)(b) of Ipid Act, which is death as a result of police action.
Okay.
And then the alleged offense is murder.
Okay. And then you have a list of suspects there. If you have any difficulty in mentioning them, I think you should anyway mention the ones that we know are deceased now as part of the suspects.
If I may, the witness deals with the same suspects in the body of her statement,
And she will
as
get that.
with yesterday regarding Mr. Fritz.
Okay.
She had indicated she doesn't have a difficulty.
Okay.
Just to cross-check, Ms. Masuku, do you have a difficulty in reading out the witness, these suspects as are listed at page 11? If you don't, Commissioner Baloyi is inviting you to please do so.
I will read the suspects list, Commissioners.
All right. Thank you.
during the time when we first take it for the NPA decision, the following suspects were mentioned as part of the suspects that must be prosecuted. It was Reservist Constable Z. Fritz, Mr. W. Pretorius, Mr. E. van der Walt, Mr. M. van der Merwe, which is Marius, Mr. J. Mkwanazi, Mr. J. Hanekom, who is now deceased, Mr. Kobas, Ms. K. Listos, who is a Metro officer, Ms. J. Marie Extian, who is an SAPS member, and Mr. A. Mackenzie, who is an EMPD member as well. Mr. J. Mkwanazi as well is an EMPD member. The rest of other mentioned names, it's private people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloy. Ms. Masuku, we are now at a point where you have submitted this memorandum to the DPP. If we can pick up your testimony from there, what transpired thereafter?
The DPP advised, amongst the others, that we could not be able to obtain a conviction in circumstances where we're relying solely on the testimony of a single witness, whom himself was a suspect in the murder. The DPP therefore returned the file to us for further investigation.
Do you have it in writing, the DPP's response to your memo?
Commissioners, I was addressing the SC for that, to say, before I came for the consultation, I had it. It's just that unfortunately, I asked assistants in the office to make copies for me because I had left the bundle of documents on my desk. So when they were making copies, that particular document is no longer there. That means it's being misplaced. But it doesn't mean that I won't be able to find it. It's just that now I don't have it in my possession.
And if I may, as discussed with Ms. Masuku, after this she will try and locate precisely that document and she will file it with a supplementary statement. It's just that she couldn't obtain it at the time now the statement was due. Thank you.
It may even be sought from the DPP if you can't locate your copy.
Indeed, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I will do that during break. If she's in the office, she'll be able to send me. Yes. Thank you.
Please proceed.
As a lead investigator on this matter, we had agreed as a team that warning statements from the suspects would be obtained by the rest of the team members, excluding myself. This was because I dealt with Marius van der Merwe's statements. Therefore, I needed someone who would approach the rest of the suspects without the full knowledge of Marius van der Merwe's version. My other role is to exercise overall control, the coordination, and accountability for the investigation, rather than personally perform every investigation task myself. After the docket was taken for decision for the first time, the DPP offered further directives of a list of instructions that must be carried over before we return the docket back. Some of them was to obtain the warning statements from the rest of these mentioned suspects. So I had to start locating these suspects. As I acknowledge, the investigation was dependent on teamwork. Given the security threats and operational risk prevalent in the area, it was both prudent and necessary for investigators to work collaboratively and to allocate tasks amongst team members. Mr. Makakula's involvement thereof reflects the lawful delegation of functions within the team-based investigation conducted under the authority and direction of the lead investigator.
And in that sense, the lead investigator was yourself.
It was myself,
Thank
Commissioners.
you. Please continue.
Following the incident and during our investigation, we managed to obtain statements from the following suspects that were mentioned by Marius van der Merwe. Commissioners, I will mention the name because their names are known already. We obtained the warning statements from Brigadier Julius Mkwanazi, Alexandra Zander Fritz, who was an SAPS reservist at Brakpan, but later resigned. Begogwa Kesibanda, who is the police sergeant at Brakpan Police Station. Juan Marie Exten, based at Flying Squad. Keisha Lee Stolz, who is an MPD constable. Adrian Mackenzie, who's also an MPD constable, and Willem Pretorius, who is a security officer from an unknown company to myself. Etienne van der Walt, who is a security officer, and Cobus van Rensbeck from Coast Guard Security. These statements were obtained in order to get their version of events on the day of incident. All the above warning statements were obtained from different dates, ranging from 2023-02-24 to 2026-01-28. I attach copies of these statements marked NPM 5I to 5IX and a copy of a death certificate of Constable Kosa marked NPM 5X.
If I may then direct you to your annexure file for these annexures NPM 5, Roman 1, to NPM Roman 5. They start at page 14 of your annexure bundle.
Yes, Commissioner, I'm there.
You state that these were obtained over a period starting the 24th of February 2023 to the 28th of January 2026. You state that at your paragraph 51.
And that's correct, Commissioners.
Have you located the annexures in your exhibit bundle, in your annexure bundle? Have you located them?
Yes, Commissioners.
Before we go into these to the extent that is necessary, is there any particular order in which you have filed them in the file?
Yes, Commissioners, they are filed according to the sequence of the dates they were obtained.
With the first being?
With the first being Alexandra Fritz, until the last being Constable Extian.
Okay. So you note at your paragraph 51 that they range from the 24th of February 2023. Are you correct? Because if you say Alexandra Fritz was the first statement and we go to NPM 5, Roman 1, there's a signature there. Well, you have, it's in two parts really. It's the standard form called statement regarding interview with suspect, and that is dated the 17th of February 2023, that you will find at page 19 and page 20. And attached to that is the actual statement, which is dated the 24th of February 2023 at page 27. So you are relying on the date of the actual statement, not the warning form or whatever it's called that appears at the beginning of that annexure.
Commissioners, on that, I think it should be rectified. I'm relying on the warning statement,
Yes.
the form, because even if he doesn't come back with the exact statement, as long as I have this, I will take it back for decision.
Okay.
So I think the date should be amended to the one for the form, which is the 17th of February, not the one where I got his statement.
We shall make that amendment accordingly. Thank you. So we are now then at page 14. You say Mr. Alexander Fritz was the first suspect you obtained a statement from. And that actual statement starts at page 22. Now, are you able to highlight for the commissioners what further information you were able to obtain from Alexander Fritz at this juncture on the 24th of February 2023?
The information that I managed to get from the statement of Alexandra Fritz, it was the confirmation to say, yes, he was there in the premises on the day, as well as there was members from Brakpan police station, whereby he's mentioning one by the surname, the other one he doesn't mention by the surname. So now it's helping me to say at least I've got another suspect that was not mentioned by Marius, that is now being mentioned by Fritz, that I must trace. Even though he doesn't mention to say who was the other police officer, but I knew that if I get this one, then he will be able to tell me as to who was he driving with. I will not be able to divulge more, but what I just wanted to highlight to the commissioners is to say, even though he was there, but he is distancing himself from seeing the deceased on the day in question. He arrived, yes, in the premises, but according to him, he didn't see anyone there. He saw the police officers who were there busy working as the house was ransacked, according to his statement. The members that he knows, he's these ones that are working with him at his station. And then there were other EMPD members. He is also mentioning that there was another African male that he just give description as to how did he look like. What I can say to the commissioners that even though we have a list of 12 suspects, including the deceased suspects in this matter, but it can happen that after arrest, we can be able to arrest more people that were involved, because I do believe that it was not only these ones. They were more. And after these suspects can be arrested, that is when I will be able to interrogate them based on the information I'm having. But for now, I cannot interrogate them because they are not yet charged.
Thank you. I see, I would like to refer you to a part of that statement with reference to what you read out from the memorandum you sent to the DPP in December 2022, and just to check that it will not compromise your case. So I would like you to consider it and confirm if you can. We can read it out, or you can just confirm by reading it. In this regard, please refer to page 23 of, we are still in Fritz's statement.
Yes, I'm there.
And in particular at paragraph 7. And paragraph 7, he speaks to the detail of the vehicle he was driving on the day. This is after he confirms having been on duty on the 14th of April in the evening. You see that?
Yes, I see that, Commissioner.
Now, my question is, are you able then to speak to that aspect with reference to what you have stated and you have set out at in NPM 4, which is your report to the DPP regarding the vehicle you are able to track through the AVL system?
Yeah, yes, Commissioners, that's correct. But Commissioners, if you can excuse me on this paragraph, because I realize there is something that I don't want to read out.
Okay, no, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Yes.
I'll leave that question. I was quite hesitant too. I don't want to compromise your case. But at least, because the commissioners can see what is at paragraph 7, they have the DPP report. Can you confirm that the information that is at paragraph 7 is the information you had already communicated to the DPP?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you. So, you recall yesterday you testified about your meeting with, I think it's the mother of the deceased.
That's
who
correct.
related a visit by a certain Zander Fritz, who represented himself as a Hawks person or officer. Please have regard, we're still in Fritz's statement, page 26. I think yesterday we made a fleeting reference to it.
There, Commissioners.
And I am interested in particular at paragraph 16. You may, you'll decide whether to read it into the record, to read it to yourself and comment to the commissioners insofar as it is relevant to what the deceased mother told you about that particular visit.
Yes, Commissioners, I can read this on record, but I won't mention one name that is mentioned there. But I can read the paragraph on record.
Please do then skip those parts that you think is not appropriate to read out.
I got work from this individual mentioned here that Cobus had organized for me shortly after the 14th of April 2022. They gave me a few cases that they wanted me to investigate. And one of the cases were the one that Constable Sibande and myself assisted in Crocodile Street in Salis Village. I went to the address where I met a lady and told her that I'm from Hawk Risk Protection and asked her about the truck that was standing on her premises. She then told me that her husband was found dead in the lake. I left my number with her and said that if she had any information regarding the truck, that she must contact me. I told the company where I had got the work from that I was at the above address with Cobus to see if we could recover anything that was stolen from his client. I also told the person that he got a job from that the lady living there said her husband passed away and that the truck was no longer standing at the premises.
Thank you. Now, this is the 24th of February, 2023. There is more in this warning statement that we did not highlight here at the Commission. I want to establish from you the DPP having returned the docket to you after December 2022. You obtained this statement in February 2023. Was this not sufficient to return the docket to the DPP and say, you now have more information and for a decision, or was it necessary to still do further investigations, and why?
Commissioners, yes. The docket was sent in December and then it was returned, I think, early January 2023 with further instructions. Then I started to follow on those instructions. As this statement, it's one of me noting the instructions from the DPP, but it was not enough of me to say, because now I'm having these statements now from Alexandra, I must take the docket back again to say they can prosecute. Because already I had enough evidence against Mr. Fritz. This is additional to show that evidence that I'm having, it proves he was there. But for me, because now I'm having these statements to take the docket back again, the docket was going to come back again to me to say, but there are further instructions that you haven't complied to. They are important as well. So for me, it was important to get the rest of other statements from the rest of other suspects that are mentioned here.
Okay. In your statement, now before I say that, we have now looked at Alexander Fritz's statement, which is NPM 5, Roman 1. There are a total of 9 statements in the file.
That's correct.
Beyond here, would you like to make any comments regarding the content of the other statements from the suspects? You had mentioned who these suspects were at your paragraph 51 that you obtained warning statements from.
Okay, what I can mention regarding all the suspects, because at the end, for this duration of the dates I've mentioned to say, it was from the 17th of February 2023, the first statement, until the last statement on the 28th of January 2026. All these statements, yes, they were at the premises. but none of them saw the deceased. They all arrived at the premises, but according to them, the deceased, they didn't have any interaction with the deceased. They didn't see him. That means he was not there when they arrived. And some of them, they didn't even go inside the house. They just ended on the premises. But for me, it's enough as long as they did arrive, because what I want to prove is they were on that premises on the day of incident.
Okay, thank you for that. Looking at your date range then, over which you obtained these statements, I realize that, and with reference to the work of the commission, I realize that the last statement you obtained in 2025 is dated the 27th of October 2025, and that's NPM 5, Roman 8. And that is the statement of Etienne van der Walt, starting at page 107. Do you confirm that?
Okay, I'm getting the, yes, I confirm that, Commissioners.
And that date is of interest to me because 27th October 2025, the Commission had not heard from witness D, Mr. Marius van der Merwe.
That's correct, Commissioners.
In your statement, however, you have, your last statement is 28th January 2026. By then, Mr. van der Merwe had testified on the 5th of December. Whose statements did you obtain after the testimony of Marius van der Merwe before the Commission?
It's the last statement of Etienne, as well as the statement of Constable Sibande from, who is a police officer. But you will see that on the warning statement form,
Yes.
there is Sibande's form that was obtained during 2023,
Yes.
whereby he has chosen to remain silent. But after Marius came to the Commission, then Sibande came forward and said, I'm bringing my statement. Then I took it.
And perhaps for the record, Commissioners, Bekokwake Sibande's statement is NPM 5 Roman 4. It starts with the usual warning form, whatever that document is called, at page 59, 58. And that form, Officer Sibande signed on the 16th of May 2023 in Brakpan at page 65. However, it doesn't have a statement. The statement attached from page 73 is now the statement of Officer Sibande, and at page 75, it bears a date stamp of the 1st of December 2025. That was before witness D testified.
Commissioner, that means I must rectify if I say he gave it after
Okay, yes.
the witness D testified. But I will say he gave it because the case was already a talk everywhere. Even SAPS was now making inquiries as to where is the case docket. So they confronted their members who they know they were involved. Then Sibande, as he was one of them, that is when, after confronting him, then he came back to me and said, I sat with the legal side of SAPS, then I was advised to give statement. Then I'm bringing my statement. Then I agree to say you can bring your statement.
Okay.
Ms. Silla, you confused me. I thought you were correct the first time when you said the statement was made after witness D testified.
Yes.
Then you changed to say, no, it could have been earlier.
No, the witness had said she got two statements after witness D had testified, stating Sibande and Extian. So I point out to the witness that actually Officer Sibande's statement is dated the 1st of December, 2025, which is prior to. So that's the correction she just effected. His official consultation or interview was in May 2023, when he refused to give an actual statement. He just completed that form, but did not give a statement. He subsequently gave it on the 1st of December 2025.
And witness D testified in November.
On the 5th of December 2025.
No, it was the minister on the 5th of December. He died on the 5th of December.
That's why.
Yes, that's when you confused.
That's where I'm sorry, I confused the witness. I'm sorry, I had my dates mixed up. You're quite correct. You're quite correct. So the witness is correct from the original version that she got two after the testimony of witness D. It's the date of death. I apologize for the confusion. I realize I have eaten into the tea time for commissioners. I just want to finish off one question, this aspect of her testimony. So it's clarified, and thank you, Commissioner Kumalo, that you obtained two statements after the testimony of witness D.
That's correct, Commissioner.
We have clarified that is Officer Sibande.
Yes.
The only other one then after that period is NPM, according to your file, NPM 5, Roman 9 at page 124. If you could just very briefly deal with that and the date you obtained that statement.
Page again?
124.
124. Yes, I'm there, Commissioners.
So whose statement is this then? And if you could just deal with the date on that statement.
It's statement from Constable John Marie Extian, who is a police officer as well. And it was obtained on the...
I'm at 137. There is a signature there and a date.
On the 28th of January 2026.
28th January 2026. And that would be the last of your statements, because your next annexure that you reference at paragraph 51 is annexure NPM 5 Roman 10, which you state as a copy of the death certificate of Constable Koza. And that is at page 141 for the record. Do you confirm?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you, Commissioners. We'll stop this.
Can I just check this, Ms. Masuku? At page 74, this is the statement of Sibande. And this is in relation to a question yesterday about a reservist attending to the scene. You see, in paragraph 2, he explains that he arrived at the scene, or they arrived at the scene, and then formed teams under Constable Fritz's guidance. Is that how it works, that police officers can be under the leadership of a reservist?
No, that's not correct, Commissioner. It doesn't work in that way.
Yes.
You cannot get instruction from a reservist. He's the one who must guide the reservist.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And then secondly, at page 25, that is the statement of Alexander Fritz. that you were looking at earlier at page 25 in paragraph 12 and line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the bottom.
Okay, Commissioner, I'm still getting the...
Page 25? At paragraph 12?
Yes, Commissioner.
And then that paragraph 12, if you count from the bottom of the paragraph, go to line 5. In fact, you can go to line 6, which starts, we saw the truck standing. Do you see where I'm reading?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. Now, in the next line, he says, we saw a black male with a beard and glasses. And then if you read on, he then says in the next sentence, he was apparently from the EMPD, but dressed in civil clothing. Did you establish who the person that he would have been describing here? And I ask because when you look at your list of suspects from the EMPD, the only African name is Mkwanazi, and he's placed outside. Here he seems to speak about a different person. Have you put a name to this other person that is being described here and apparently from the EMPD?
Commissioners, sorry. Yes, I did inquire regarding this, but the only people that can tell me as to who is this man, it's them. That is why I said to the commissioners to say, if the arrest can be effected, possibly there are more suspects that will be arrested because I will be able to interrogate them based on what they are telling me. So for now, if he says, I don't know him, then I can't do anything for now. I will take that. Then for me to go to EMPD to say I'm looking for somebody who wears dark glasses with a beard, they will tell me that there are about 20. So I won't know who am I looking for. But because he is saying he was from EMPD, I know that I will get him. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair.
Let's adjourn and resume at 11:30.
Thank you, Chair.